The Acropolis of Athens is one of the most famous ancient Greek sites, and it has been visited by millions over the years. It was built between 447 and 432 BC in honor of the goddess Athena. And it consists of several buildings, including the iconic Parthenon. While we know a lot about this structure, from its construction to its eventual demise, there are still many secrets that have yet to be uncovered. Join us today as we take a closer look at some of the hidden secrets of the Parthenon. Before we get into the video, remember to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos about ancient archaeological findings. The last excavations at the Parthenon were conducted in the early 20th century, but archaeologists believe that there may be much more to discover beneath the surface. With new technology, researchers are able to see things in the structure that have never been seen before. This gives us an unprecedented opportunity to learn more about one of the most important buildings in all of Greece. The first secret we'll be looking at today has to do with the way the building was constructed. The Parthenon was built during the Golden Age of Athens, and it was considered to be the most magnificent temple in the city. It was dedicated to the goddess Athena, and it stood as a symbol of Athenian power and wealth. The temple was constructed out of white marble, and it had a series of columns that surrounded it. Each column was intricately carved with images from Greek mythology. The roof of the temple was decorated with statues of warriors and horses. Overall, the building was a masterpiece of ancient Greek architecture. But how exactly was it built? Well, recent studies have shown that the builders used a technique called entasis. This is when the columns are slightly wider at the bottom than at the top. What this does is give the illusion that the columns are straighter than they actually are. In addition, it also makes them appear more slender. Before this discovery, historians believed that the columns were simply straight, and that any deviations from this were due to wear or damage over time. However, now we know that this was an intentional part of the design. Entasis is still used today in modern architecture, such as the columns of the famous Taj Mahal. So while it may not have been the first time this technique was used, it was certainly one of the most famous. Another secret that has only recently been uncovered has to do with the paintings inside the building. When the Parthenon was first built, it was adorned with beautiful works of art. These paintings depicted scenes from Greek mythology and everyday life. Unfortunately, most of these paintings have since been lost due to weathering and erosion. However, a few fragments remain, and they are giving us clues as to what the rest of the artwork looked like. One fragment shows a chariot being driven by a team of horses. Another shows a group of men wrestling. These paintings are important because they give us insight into the culture and values of the ancient Greeks. They also show the skill of the artists who created them. Through studying these fragments, researchers hope to learn more about the other paintings that once adorned the walls of the Parthenon. With this knowledge, we can get a better understanding of life during the Golden Age of Athens. But what about the people who actually built the Parthenon? Who were these master builders, and where did they get their skills? Well, that's where the third secret comes in. Recent research suggests that the builders of the Parthenon were highly skilled craftsmen who came from all over Greece to work on the project. This would explain why the building is so well made and so detailed. The builders likely learned their skills through a combination of training and experience. They probably apprenticed under master builders and then went on to build their own structures. Some may have even traveled to other parts of the Mediterranean to study different building techniques. This is evidenced by similarities between the Parthenon and other ancient structures. Overall, the builders of the Parthenon were likely a diverse group of individuals who brought their talents together to create one of the most impressive buildings of the ancient world. So far we've learned that the columns of the Parthenon were likely built using a technique called entasis, that the building was once adorned with beautiful paintings, and that the builders of the Parthenon were likely highly skilled craftsmen who came from all over Greece to work on the project. But there's still more to discover about this amazing structure. One of the most famous secrets of the Parthenon is the so-called marble ants. These are small holes that are found in the stonework of the building. For years, it was believed that these holes were made by insects. However, recent research suggests that this is not the case. Instead, The marble ants are thought to be the result of water erosion. This is supported by the fact that they're only found in areas where water was present. In addition, the size and shape of the holes match up with the patterns left by flowing water. It is likely that water from the nearby Acropolis Hill seeped into the stonework and over time caused the marble to erode. This is a fascinating discovery because it shows that even the most impressive structures are not immune to the effects of nature. Another secret that has only recently been uncovered has to do with the use of gilding on the building. Gilding is a process of covering metal with a thin layer of gold. It's often used to make objects appear more valuable or more attractive. Recent studies suggest that the Parthenon was gilded in places, which would explain why it gleams so brightly in the sunlight. This would also explain why the building was such an impressive sight to behold. The gilding was likely done to celebrate the completion of the project or to honor the goddess Athena. Whatever the reason, it is clear that the builders of the Parthenon spared no expense in making their temple as magnificent as possible. The final secret we'll be discussing today has to do with the roof of the Parthenon. The roof was originally decorated with a series of sculptures, but these sculptures have since been lost. However, recent studies have revealed some interesting details about the roof. Using high-resolution scanning, researchers were able to create a 3D model of the building. This model showed that the roof was actually supported by a series of wooden beams. This is surprising because we typically think of ancient Greek buildings as having stone or marble roofs. The wooden beams were likely needed to support the weight of the sculptures that decorated the roof. This is another example of the incredible engineering skills of the ancient Greeks. They were able to construct a lightweight roof that was strong enough to withstand the weight of heavy sculptures. The Parthenon is an amazing structure that has captured the imaginations of people for centuries. It was one of the most impressive buildings in the ancient world, and it stood as a symbol of Athenian power and wealth. While much of the building has since been lost, there's still a lot to explore and discover. The columns likely used a technique called entasis. The building was once adorned with beautiful paintings, the roof was supported by wooden beams, and there are small holes in the stonework caused by water erosion. These are just a few of the hidden secrets of the Parthenon. With new technology, we're able to learn more about this amazing structure than ever before. And who knows what other discoveries await us? The Parthenon is a reminder of the incredible achievements of the ancient Greeks. It's also a reminder of the importance of preserving our cultural heritage. As we continue to explore the ruins of the Parthenon, we can learn more about one of the most important buildings in all of Greece. We can also appreciate the skill and craftsmanship of the ancient builders. Now it's your turn to help uncover the secrets of the Parthenon. Take a look at the information below and see what other hidden secrets you can find. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time.